effects because they do this stuff for a living. They're living in this, and even the old version they love, but now with real-time effects they're just going crazy for this. And let me show you a couple things here. As we looked at this, I thought we could use a transition between those two scenes, and it's as simple as dragging it in. Now what you're going to see is this is going to play back in real time. In the old way of doing things, which was 3 weeks ago, we had to wait for this to render, and it wasted time, it broke the concentration and the flow of editing. Now I can just play it back. Just like that, all in software. And this real-time effects engine doesn't just apply to dissolves, although the dissolve is a very common effect. Let's put another one in here. This is called a clock wipe. Let's see how that looks. All in real time. This is a godsend for editors because you do this hundreds of times every day when you're editing video, and now you no longer have to wait. Another very common thing to do in video editing is adding titles. Final Cut 3 adds real-time titling. Let me show you how that works. Got a couple scenes.
This is the light.
I want to drop a logo on top of this. What you're going to see, I'm going to take a title, superimpose it on top of those two scenes. So what we're going to play back now will be a real-time title superimposed on top of two scenes with a real-time dissolve between them. And let's play that back.
This is the light.
And finally, a really breakthrough feature, we have real-time color correction. Any of you who work in video have ever come back from the field with a shot that looks like this are really going to appreciate this. In the old days, again, 3 weeks ago, if you had this shot, you had two choices. You could throw it away, which is obviously not an attractive option. You could go out and spend a lot of time and money on hardware-based color correction systems to salvage the shot. But in Final Cut Pro 3, it's much simpler. I just go into our color correction window, and I'll try not to go too fast because this is only about 4 clicks and we're going to fix this. I set the black point, set the white point. You can see the color cast is almost completely gone. I'm just going to bring the levels up a little bit to bring out the flesh tones. Let's have a look at how that plays.
I'm Barrett Christie, and you're watching The Light.
All right. In case you missed it, here's what it looked like before and after. Now what you're seeing here, real-time effects using the G4 chip, the Velocity engine, and Mac OS X. This works, of course, superbly on our desktop G4 systems, but perhaps the most exciting thing about this is this stuff all works on PowerBooks too. So for the first time at any price, you can take a complete professional video editing system anywhere you go. So that's Final Cut 3. Thank you very much.
Pretty cool stuff. Next, Wolfram Research. One of the most amazing apps ever. Huge in science, engineering, finance, and obviously education as well. Mathematica. My pleasure to welcome Theo Gray, one of the founders of Wolfram Research. Theo?
So some of you may be asking yourself, what actually is Mathematica? It's a little hard to pin down. I like to think that what a word processor is to writing, Mathematica is to the whole world of technical computing. So when you sit down in front of a word processor, it's not going to tell you what you can write today. That's your job. And when you sit down in front of Mathematica, it doesn't tell you what you can think today. You could model a stock price, you could do an integral, you could write a program to analyze DNA sequences, you could generate an animation. It's an open box. It's sort of an invitation to explore, just like the Macintosh, for example. Which is why we've always worked over many years to make sure that Mathematica is available for the latest Apple technology, from the Mac Plus to PowerPC and now OS X. And it's thrilling to be able to say that we've been shipping a no compromises, fully native Mathematica for a couple months now on OS X. It's really great. Let me show you some of the things it can do. If it's here. Very good. So, of course, given the name, people often think of math. Don't know why. Let me show you. This is an integral. This is all live. Now this is, we'll do integral of 1 over 1 minus x to the 5th. Boom. You get that. And look at, I mean, okay, so it's math, but look at the typography on that. I mean, it's like everything looks better in OS 10, even math. And is this useful to calculus students? Absolutely. As I say, the homework of the world doesn't stand a chance. The other thing it's good for is Dave Barry columns, actually. He recently had what I believe is the world's only known integrals joke. And in case you didn't get it, there you go. He actually had that in his column. But seriously, let me show you. Let me show you. This is a 6-character input, 6 letters, and you get. This is a approximately 35,000-digit number. It's not that big, but the point is. It's pretty typical in the kinds of things that people do with Mathematica that a very small input will use just an open-ended amount of memory. It's hard to predict. You never know. It could be hundreds of megabytes. And that's one of the really nicest things about OS 10, that however much memory you need, you got it. You don't have to worry about that. And in fact, a good example of that is animations. They take a huge amount of memory to generate and to render. And for the past couple of weeks, I've been making some up for you to see today. And I've been doing that not on some big server, but on my own little PowerBook in the